we talking about correction brutality. What do we want?
Decarceration.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Decarceration.
When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
I don't believe none of y'all. I don't believe none of y'all.
Uh-oh.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
Thank you. Now, the next person we're going to introduce is somebody else pretty dope in this movement. And when I say that, y'all, I don't say that lightly, because I will call you out if you're phony as can be. Y'all all know me. So when I tell you this woman is really dope, she's about the people. She uses everything that's at her hands and forefront and anyone in her circle to help us. And when I say us, I'm gonna be real clear. I'm talking about melanin folk, people behind the wall, people like me who get caught up in the criminal legal system and other people forget them because we're unseen and unheard. And of course, because if you have black and brown skin, you can't be worthy of justice. You can't be. Rabbi Marga. Woo! Thank you as always.
You, and I hope if you ever get called out by Miss V, you appreciate it and thank her, because she does it with love and accountability. I'm Rabbi Margot Hughes Robinson. I'm the New York organizer with Trua, the Rabbinic Call for Human Rights. We represent dozens of rabbis in New York City and over 2,300 across the country in North America. And I want to begin by grounding us in the Jewish liturgical calendar. We're in the opening days of the month of Elul. It's our moment for return, for repair, for getting right with one another and with God. And in some Jewish communities, we wake up every morning to say the slichot, the apology prayers. And we wake each other up with this melody that I'm going to share now. En adam adan yildam kum kera etachnuni sefoch slicha derosh salicha me adon adonim lecha adonai hatzedakah velanu boshet hapanim. Prayer means human being, wake up. Get yourself up, get up, and start apologizing. Pour out your heart, demand forgiveness from the Master of all. The chorus says, God, you are the righteous, but ours is the shame. God is the place of justice, but we are sitting with boshet hapanim. In Hebrew, it means deep physical shame. What is going on when the promise of our justice system turns into not even a conversation about accountability, but really a deep and perverse love of the emotional satisfaction of punishment? That isn't justice. To delight in someone else's suffering is not justice. It is turning people's lives and their pain into spectacle. Before I go on, I have to give the deepest condolences to Mr. Nieves' family. In my tradition, we say, may his memory be for a blessing. May you know the deepest comfort from the source. I've lost a family member to suicide, and my family sits with the impact of that to this day. I wish you the deepest comfort. We're in this month of Elul, this process of what we call in Hebrew teshuvah, return and repair. We say you cannot ask for forgiveness until you've tried to make it right. You cannot ask for forgiveness from God. You cannot go to the families of the people you've harmed and say, my condolences, I'm so sorry, we'll look into this, before you make it right. You have to do something. You have to move towards accountability. And with this coalition, the work that we do is so depressing and so hard to look at what this city would like to hide, what this city would like to pretend is not in the dark underbelly, but it is damaging to us, to every person in this city. It is dangerous most for low-income Black and brown people, that has to be said, but it is dangerous for all of us. Like my colleague said, every single person who is remanded to Rikers faces a potential death sentence. And it is damaging for all of our souls. What is at stake when we allow this to happen, when we go to sleep at night knowing that every single person on that island is risking their life, knowing that there are people who have taken on uniforms and vowed to serve and protect, and then said they watch as someone suffers. Do you know how long a minute is? I want to invite everybody. We're just going to take a minute, and it's going to be uncomfortable. But we're going to sit in silence for 1 minute together, all right?
Yes.
I want you to feel in your body how long a minute is. And I want you to think about how long 10 minutes is.
Wait, hold on, Rabbi. I'm going to
Yes,
ask
ma'am.
everybody to give the Rabbi one mic. We're going to respect this 1 minute for all the moms, Lord. Thank you. Please continue.
Absolutely. And I'm going to invite you to let it bubble up. If it's grief, if it's anger, if it is deep sadness, if it is righteous anger, let it bubble up. But I want you to sit for how long a minute is. We're going to start now. It's going to hurt. Right. When we say decarcerate, I want to invite you to imagine a world where we're not invested in punishment, but in accountability and repair. And that accountability is not just for folks who are charged with a crime or suspected of a crime or even convicted, but also for every person in our justice system. For the lawyers, for the judges, for the mayor, for Commissioner Molina. Michael Nieves' death has conferred upon you a sacred obligation. You should have never let this happen, and you can never let it happen again. You have the rest of your life to try. You can't make it right, but to make it different and to make it better, and to invest first for yourself and then for this city what real accountability is going to look like. We've got to close Rikers, and we've got to decarcerate.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rabbi.